My name is Andrew Yang.
I'm Andrew Yang.
Today is April 4th, 2019.
February 25th, 2020.
I'm 44.
I'm 45.
Took a taxi with several staffers.
I walked to set with one staffer.
I'm running for president to try and make this country something I'm proud to pass along to my children.
I believe by running for president, I could wake us up to the real situation we're in and then activate real solutions.
Well, the internet has me at 14%, and so I will use the internet as the arbiter of collective wisdom.
I can categorically say that the odds of my winning the Democratic nomination are 0.
I have 214,000 followers on Twitter.
I have 1.2 million Twitter followers.
At least several times a day, minimum.
Now that we're back more in the swing of things, I probably check it once every hour or two.
Definitely.
I think everyone has trolls on Twitter. You know, most of the people who follow me seem very, very positive, but you know, I'm sure I do.
Most of the time, I don't respond unless it seems like they have genuine reasoned objections or confusion.
Yeah, there was a period when I would engage with people who had negative comments. I found myself doing less and less of that over time because it didn't necessarily seem like a good use of time.
I'm going to guess there are probably millions of results. Well, I think that would be a miscount because there are a lot of Andrew Yangs, and so any search would probably be over-inclusive.
Apparently there are 192 million Google results for me now. Most of them were nice, I think. I don't know. There are probably some mean ones in there.
So I think that the two biggest celebrities that have donated publicly have been Nicolas Cage and Rivers Cuomo of Weezer. I'm fans of both of theirs, so that was actually a lot of fun.
Wow. So Dave Chappelle, clearly, I was endorsed by Elon Musk, so thank you, Elon. Donald Glover, Ken Jeong, Terry Hatcher, Dane DeHaan, Anita Baker.
When Jeremy Lin was on the Nets, I actually met him when he was on the Nets. He and I have many friends in common. I haven't talked to him about the Yang 2020 campaign. After his season ends, we're going to get him in the Yang Gang.
Did Jeremy Lin ever make it to the Yang Gang? That's a good question. I got to find Jeremy and ask him. So maybe not officially.
John Lennon's son, Ken Jeong, Martin Luther King III, Ariana Huffington. There are some others, though. This is not the greatest list.
Whoopi Goldberg, Ryan Reynolds, AOC, Judd Apatow, Aubrey Plaza. I haven't met all these people, but it's certainly very flattering to be followed by some of them. Dysfunctional, polarized,
and behind the times.
And behind the curve. And behind the curve is hyphenated, so that's one word.
Because of the polarization, we can't take any significant action, and the government is able to do less and less.
Our economy is transforming in fundamental ways that are leaving more and more Americans behind, and we're not even talking about it, much less addressing it.
There's a high school student in central Iowa who said that he has classmates that they're already addicted to opiates. It stuck with me. He was like, what do you do about that? And that question from that 18-year-old in Iowa led me to conclude that we should decriminalize opiates.
There's so many moments that have stuck with me on my campaign. Had moms crying in my arms because their sons passed away from opiates. Also had people crying tears of joy, talking about how my campaign helped bring them out of a depression. So it's like humanity turned up, where you'd see the best and worst of human experience on any given day. I mean, I certainly remember the gun violence event, and it was a mom telling a story about how her twin 3-year-olds, I believe, were shot in front of her, and then one of them died. And I have 2 boys myself who were 4 and 7, which were, you know, about the same age. But yeah, I'll remember that forever. I mean, because that story is not something you forget. Why are you away so much? That happened. I like your bus. That was exciting. Yang Gang, they liked that. They liked some of the Yang Gang music. One of them liked the slogan math. So they said a lot of fun stuff.
Well, one of them, the older one, was looking at like the list of all the presidents. And then he said, who's going to be the 46th president? And then I said, no one knows. And then he looked at me and he said, you should be the 46th president.
Yeah, that definitely is not where he is now. Well, when I get stopped on the street, the number one question is, are you Andrew Yang? Well, I've always admired Teddy Roosevelt a great deal. I think Teddy was a very principled leader, and
I am his great-great-granddaughter's godfather. I was a big Barack Obama fan. I mean, I was an honorary ambassador in his administration, and so he was the first person I think of in that regard.
I received a phone call from Barack Obama last week, and he's always been a real role model on many levels.
The 3,000 person rally in San Francisco about 2 weeks ago.
Well, the presidential debates, I think, were watched by something like 17 million people, so I guess that'd be the largest number.
Definitely the Joe Rogan experience. Let's just say I was not getting stopped in the street pre-Joe Rogan. But post-Joe Rogan, it happened an awful lot.
Oh, I've been interviewed by so many incredible people, but I think most people would have to say it was my appearance with Joe Rogan.
Certainly, it would be making the DNC primary debates and then having CNN give us a town hall.
People don't like to bust out the credit card and be like, I'm going to give 5, 10, 20, 25 bucks. So the fact that 425,000 or so Americans did that is clearly our biggest accomplishment.
You know, I saw one in Iowa. I haven't seen one in the wild where I was just like driving from place to place and I passed a yard sign.
When I was campaigning in Iowa, New Hampshire, every day. So thank you, Yang Gang. Now, not very much though.
That doesn't bother me. I mean, it rhymes.
When I hear the term Yang Gang, I think of all the incredible people who I met on the trail and have supported me in the campaign. So I love the Yang Gang, and it's impossible for me not to then love the term Yang Gang. I did meet him. I met him in South Carolina. He came up with the acronym Make America Think Harder for math. And there were actually other suggestions for what math could stand for. Make America Truly Happy was one.
I've been listening to a lot of Florence and the Machine for whatever reason.
I've been listening to a lot of Imagine Dragons lately because I become friends with the guitarist.
How Soon Is Now by the Smiths. I have 130,000 Instagram followers.
I have 577,000 Instagram followers.
So my most liked Instagram photo is an animated me celebrating qualifying for the DNC primary debates.
My most liked photo on Instagram is a thank you video from me and Evelyn to everyone who supported the campaign. And someone suggested that we prepare some script, and then I said, I don't think that's going to work. Like, I think I should just speak from the heart. So it was a very difficult message to record.
One is the mode I'm in now, which is media mode. Number 2 is campaign mode, which is when you're in Iowa and New Hampshire. So you're in someone's home or a diner, and you can be talking to 5 or 10 people or 50 people. And then number 3 is rally mode.
Well, so keep in mind, I've been off the trail now for 2 weeks, so I've been trying to remind my kids what I look like and whatnot. So there's definitely been some more dad mode. There's been like chasing around the kids and going on a hike with them and stuff like that. Is there still rally mode inside of me? Yeah, very much so. But for now, it's dad mode, which I can't have to admit, it's a lot of fun.
My wife's doing great, happily. Unfortunately, she and my kids are getting a little too used to daddy not being around.
I think she's glad that I'm off the trail on some levels, even though she was 100% campaigning right alongside me down the stretch. I'm so proud of her that she's become such this voice for progress and reflecting the experience of so many people and women in particular. But yeah, you know, in some ways this campaign's really empowered our family in ways that you never could have predicted. So I'm happy to say she's doing great.
You know, I see them whenever I'm home, which is approximately, 40% of the time.
Now I see them a lot, happily. I'm not traveling as much now that I'm off the trail, so I wouldn't say I see them every day because I'm still traveling a little bit, but I see them most days now, which is a treat, a delight. They're totally bored of anything dad-related that's not dad in person, so dad on TV is not a thing for them. Yeah, that debate is not their speed. They have like Baby Shark on or something.
Like maybe 10 or 11 days.
Probably 2 weeks.
I have breakfast and I bring my oldest son to school. I go to the office if there's nothing going on, but more often than not, I'll go to a media interview, have media interviews and meetings and calls all day if I'm here in New York. I might get home around dinner time. Hopefully I'm there to watch the kids go to sleep, and then I have a little bit of time with my wife at the end of the day. If I am going to exercise, go to the gym, it would probably be late at night.
Campaign life, you're scheduled down to the 5 or 10 minutes. Whereas now, I could have a whole 15, 20 minutes where I'm just kind of milling around, going from place to place. I also don't have an entourage around me now, which is actually quite delightful. Who needs like 5 people around you all the time? Not this guy.
Sure, sometimes. You feel like there are a lot of people that are relying on you, and you need to make a good impression at every new stop because most people have never seen or heard you before.
There was a lot of pressure because opportunities don't come around like this all the time.
You know, there's someone that left the campaign early on that I still have no idea why. To the extent of a regret, it's like not understanding why that happened.
I still don't know. One regret I have is that I didn't make more of an effort to talk to more people in DC earlier on, because it turns out that the DC media establishment has more influence in terms of who people feel like supporting than I had realized starting out.
People don't know who I am.
That I don't understand certain people's experiences, because I'm sure that's totally correct. You know, I mean, I try.
Not as often as I should, but I'd say like once every day or two. I write emails to my supporters once or twice a week, and that those sometimes serve as pseudo-journals. I
have not written in my journal in quite some time, because on the campaign trail, like it's not the most contemplative of environments. You kind of wish it were. Like, you get to the hotel and you'd be like, oh, let me reflect on that. But actually, you get back to the hotel and you're dead tired because you had 7 events that day, and you were in a car for 7 hours or whatever the heck the situation was.
Pragmatism and work with people that have an interest in real solutions.
Solving problems, getting things done, moving the country forward.
We adopt universal basic income by the end of 2021.
I believe that my campaign has already accelerated the end of poverty in the United States of America by a number of years, maybe even generations. We're not going to rest until we actually accomplish this, but I believe we've already made a lot of progress over the last number of months.
A year from now is going to be April 2020. Wow. That's going to mean that you've been through the first primaries, you won Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, South Carolina, California. You won them all. You're the first person to win every state. That's what I hope to be saying to myself.
I hope that we have continued to build this movement, that the energy around the campaign has just continued to grow, that more and more Americans realize that we can evolve and start to think about ourselves as the centers of this economy rather than inputs into this giant capital efficiency machine.
I mean, I had massive failures and mistakes. Like, my first business failed, second business didn't really work out, though that wasn't even mine. I mean, I showed up and did my best. But I have no complaints. I mean, I'm very proud of it overall. Like, even the failures, I felt like I was at least trying to do something.
I've been very, very fortunate, so it's really hard for me to have major regrets in terms of my career. I've just been really lucky to be able to do work that I believe in with people that are awesome. So, it's hard to have many regrets.
Try and enjoy the ride, because you're having experiences that most people will never have. And though it sometimes seems like work or exertions, I mean, if your younger self could see you now, it'd be like, wow, that's kind of amazing.
That's pretty good, Andrew of the past. My future self, presumably my future self will know more than I do now. So I should actually ask my future self for advice. What should I do, future Andrew? If I need advice, it's just to stay grounded, enjoy your family, friends, and particularly just be nice to your parents, because they're not going to be here forever,
I have an interview with Ali Velshi of MSNBC, so we're going to have a sit-down discussion about the economy.
I'm going to have dinner with my family, and then I'm going to go watch the debate and then comment on it for CNN. CNN. This is CNN. That's my James Earl Jones impression. What do you think? Should they replace his voice with mine? I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to replace Darth Vader. With Andrew Eggs, this is CNN.
Appreciate your mom. Daddy loves you. Drink milk.
Thank you for putting up with Daddy's absence over these last number of months. I'll make it up to you. We're going to go to Great Adventure, Sesame Place, Hershey Park, any place you guys want, because Dad has not been around as much as he'd like, but he loves you very, very much, and he was doing what he could for your country too.